huge amount from the World Bank. Mr. Speaker, this financial year alone, we are getting 231 million. That is already captured in the Kara Act. If the county government of Kericho, led by Dr. Erick Mutai, cannot explain the 281 million, what will happen to 231 that is coming this financial year? Mr. Speaker, number 13, the office furniture and the equipment supplied under the NAFCDP program are largely substandard. There was, therefore, no value for money and compliance with the Public Procurement and Asset Disposal Act 2015, particularly Section 124, which obligates the procuring entity to select quality and cost-based selection, that is QCBS method, as the preferred method to be used and to evaluate proposals. Mr. Speaker, in some word, like Senator Cheptororiet word, the Honorable Haron Rotich, our Chief Whip, is representing the cabinet, because through this program, anything that is applied has specifications. In Senator Cheptororiet, we were able to establish even the cabinet itself is broken. Now, the computers supplied to a number of these circles which have already benefited, that's around, they are not even more than 10. Most of those computers cost 120,000, but they are, refurbished. Mr. Speaker, we will, in due time, even produce some of those laptops, because it is important for us to prove that the county government of Kericho is misusing donor funds, which is not the case. These are the people who've come to help our county. Instead of us appreciating their effort, we are misusing what they have given us. Mr. Speaker, number 14, the manner in which the few projects which were implemented were done to show that they were done without following the project's implementation manual published by the World Bank to guide the implementation of the project. And Mr. Speaker, that was even the guiding principle. You can imagine, we already have a guiding implementation manual. Instead of those enforcing this, following the due process, they went overboard. In fact, Mr. Speaker, when I said there was so many withdrawals which were necessary, which we will prove when we get the statements, people thought we were joking. So, Mr. Speaker, the manual was disregarded. The person who is mandatory in the whole transaction is the coordinator. And then we have the project accountant. And then we have the chief officer. Those are the three signatories who has been ordering the withdrawals of this fund, and for what purpose. Number 15, again, the governor shirked his overall responsibility under Article 179(4) of the Constitution and F of the County Governments Act 20. And use of county resources. Number 16.
Honorable, so that you take your seat first. You know, the governor is here as accused, and there is what we normally say: whoever alleges must prove. So I expect you, as you continue debating, you should be proving, not we will in future, because he's here already, so that he can answer to all those charges. Please be guided accordingly. The Honorable Kubrut.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I stand guided. So, number 16, there is evidence that the governor has been ordering withdrawals from the fund for reasons other than those for which the fund was created by the donor. Evidence of this shall be availed at the hearing and consideration of this motion, the mover will as well be asking the Assembly to issue and Section 27, 1C and 2 of the County Assembly's Powers and Privileges Act 2017, compelling the relevant banks where the fund were drawn from to furnish this House with the bank statements showing the withdrawals of the fund from 2023 to date. And that is what we did, Mr. Speaker. Unfortunately, they were not able to supply us with the statements. Mr. Speaker, we will use another opportunity, perhaps through the courts, for us to get the statements, because analyzing the statements will vindicate my assertion with regards to the withdrawal of this fund, Mr. Speaker. Number 3, Roman number 3, misappropriation of funds and unfair distribution of projects under the Financing Locally Led Climate Action FLOCA Fund. Again, Mr. Speaker, this is a donor-funded project by the same institution, the World Bank. Number 17, on various dates between 2023 and 2025, the governor has violated the provisions of Article 10, 179, 183, 201, 207, and 208 of the Constitution, and Sections 102 and 107 of the Public Finance Management Act 2012, and Sections 33F of the County Governments Act 2012, by presiding over unfair, skewed, and nepotic distribution of projects under FLOCA funds, imprudent use, misappropriation, and misallocation of FLOCA funds as follows. Number A, skewed and unfair distribution of projects under the fund with the governor's home ward, namely Chemosot ward, alone getting projects worth 21 million shillings, 701,590. While there are many other wards, not only in other sub-counties, but even in Bureti sub-county, which received not a single project under the fund. This nepotically skewed distribution of projects under the fund violates the national values and principles of governance under Article 10 of the Constitution, and in particular, the values of equity, non-discrimination, equality, good governance, integrity, transparency, and accountability. The principle of public finance under Chapter 12 of the Constitution, as well as the provisions of Sections 102 and 107 of the Public Finance Management Act, which enjoins the governor to ensure fiscal responsibility, adherence to the values and principles of the Constitution in the management of the county funds. Mr. Speaker, this is even very interesting because the guidelines from this particular donor fund, they are supposed to roll out 3 projects in 3 key sectors. 1 is environment, number 2 is agriculture, and number 3 is water. Mr. Speaker, what is so shocking, and it cannot be a coincidence, is a ward getting all the 3 projects in 1 financial year. While there is a ward like Kipchebor. In fact, let me use the Bureti one, Mr. Speaker. We have the member of County Assembly representing Litei with 0 project in FLOCA. But her neighbor has gotten all the 4, agriculture, environment, and water, amounting to 21 million. The source of this information is the report from the Department of Water. Mr. Speaker, I will play a clip up there to show that the governor, where he or she feels that particular MCA supports the governor, that particular ward is given more projects. You know, Honorable Anita is like my mother. Is like my mother. Mr. Speaker, I'm making my case. You will have an opportunity to prosecute your issue. I respect her. But then,
unless she accepts and wait, or she's on a point of order, quoting the standing on the point of order, which the fact you are standing order, and then
Mr. Speaker, I don't know. Pursuant to what standing order is she raising the point of order?
Yes. Well, we give her an opportunity. Yes, proceed now, Honorable Anita. So you can take your seat, Honorable Rowan.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir, for this opportunity to be able to be on point of order. Section 101 that talks about upon a motion, other than a motion by way of amendment to a question proposed by the Speaker, a member may second by rising in his or her place and signify acquittance by bowing the head. A member shall reserve same rights of speech as member would have had other members have seconded submotion. Mr. Speaker, allow me to interject and ask for support or evidence of the 4 or 3 departments that the mover of this motion has talked about having my ward benefited. Because, Mr. Speaker, sir, being a representative of the people of Chemosot and all of us in this house, Mr. Speaker, sir, I know that the Flocker project went through a committee, Mr. Speaker, sir, that approved all the projects to be done. Mr. Speaker, sir, for the motion mover to talk about Chemosot being a beneficiary and not look into what other committees from other wards provided for them not to qualify, Mr. Speaker, sir, this is not fair. Thank you.
All right, honorable members, I don't want to embarrass you when I say you refer to as standing orders. Honorable Anita, of course, you will have an opportunity to maybe raise those issues in the debate because you've actually quoted 101, which you have a right of speech. At the same time, I know you have also Honorable Procedural standing order number 98, which actually I want to believe you are the one building on responsibility for statement of fact. So let us we can let us address the issues when that time comes, so that we also avoid maybe moving back and forth. So let's proceed on the board.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I was reminded that she quoted the wrong standing order. But then, Mr. Speaker, I want to beg that there is a clip that I wish be played where the honorable member herself is addressing the public. This was in Kusumek, in her ward, during the homecoming ceremony of the area director, one Mr. Langat. The ICT team.
Lagi dingin no, agar guano, kumagano ko te pugo loma ko tandaline, erweteta. Omay ko bye bye itka. Oh bye bye na nita ne. Oh bye bye. Omacham, isakate bye bye na nita. Ketuku kechan. Keu nya ko yo kani. Suko bye. Omacham na ko
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, if we play that clip to the end, the honorable member is already even trying to say that the neighboring member of County Assembly, that is Honorable Vincent Kirui, is somebody.
Honorable Procedural, can you just play it to the end,
okay,
please?
You play.
Yes.
Lagi dingin no, kon no to men, chaka paibu ko ka ineni, kumai tum ako lega na mungo ka ke bare no. Acha na to ko no. Kuma to men ko no to iguye. So ko ko mi ina ko mai, mun tam ko ibu ande tu ko le na no re to ko ni. Ai tu, ko le na jombe ko ke re juta sai. Ko ko to suan almost ka 15 million. So ke tu
Order on the witness. Silence. Okay, proceed.
Mr. Speaker,
Yes.
Let me translate for the sake of those who might not. Honorable Anita is telling the members of public what she is able to get from the governor, more than what she has in her own budget. Mr. Speaker, she even goes an extra mile and says that she is going to ensure that she requests on behalf of the member of county assembly representing Litein and the neighboring wards. Mr. Speaker, in short, we have what we call schedule, Mr. Speaker. If the Honorable Anita gets more projects than what is budgeted for a ward, that means that is what we call the skewed development, engineered by the governor. Because one of the most favorite MCAs for the governor is Honorable Anita. I know because maybe that is where the governor resides, that is her MCA. But again, I'm aware Honorable Kiptuya, not Kiptuya, Honorable Vincent Kirui is where the governor comes from. I wish the very same treatment Honorable Anita gets is the very same treatment the people of Litein get, because that is what we need. Mr. Speaker, I can confirm that I have had issues with the governor in the manner in which projects are distributed. In the previous financial year, I lost 10 million worth of roads because perhaps I moved the previous impeachment. In this financial year that has come to an end, works from the committee on the pending bills, where I sat as a vice chair, and Honorable Vincent Godin was the chair, I lost close to 13 million shillings without explanation, Mr. Speaker. That is the money that goes to a ward like that one we've talked about, Mr. Speaker. And that is wrong because, one, Mr. Speaker, in law there is what we call jural correlatives. Where we have a right, there is a duty. The people I represent have a right to water, to roads, and anything. It is the duty of the governor to ensure the people of Sigawet are given all those things because they voted for us. Mr. Speaker, through this fund, I can confirm, and we have the report here, that Honorable Anita alone benefited in all the 4 projects in one financial year. We also have Honorable Erick Mutai, who is a very good friend of the governor. He ended up getting close to 2 projects from FLOCA, both environment and water. The Honorable Dr. Naman Rob, who I'm aware is related to the governor, got 3 projects from the fund. Now, Mr. Speaker, where would you get that when Honorable
Order, Honorable Procedural. You know, when you make such allegations, you can substantiate whether Honorable Dr. Naman Rob is related to the governor. I don't know how you will prove it.
Mr. Speaker, you know, I come from the same sub-county as Dr. Naman Rob, and is my closest friend. Mr. Speaker, the governor and Dr. Naman Rob occasionally calls each other cousin. I'm made to know the mom of Governor Mutai. Order. We want honorable members.
Want to stand it's important to substantiate such an allegation because the governor is here. And yes, if you can substantiate, can you substantiate?
Mr. Speaker, because this is a house of rules and procedures, part 1 to standing order number 98, statement of fact. The Honorable Dr. Naman Rob is seated in this house. He can either confirm or deny. If he denies, I will withdraw and apologize. Okay. If he confirms.
Honorable, order, you take your seat, Honorable. Honorable Dr. Naman Rob, there is an allegation here that you need to talk about. Please, Honorable Dr. Naman, the floor is viewers, the only professor, Your Excellency, this is the only professor that we have in this house, an associate professor.
Honorable Speaker, sir, I think we are digressing from the critical motion that is before the floor of the House. How I wish we give the mover of the motion to continue with the critical matters that were being discussed, and that the other peripheral matters will be discussed later on. For the guidance.
Order. You either confirm, you know, those are very, as per the standing orders, Honorable Dr. Naman. You don't guide the chair on how to guide the House. So you just, respond to the allegations.
Honorable Speaker, sir, my relationships, whether close or distant, are only meant for the family issues. Anything that is for the public can be meant for the public.
Order, Dr. Naman. It is either yes or no. You don't have to explain. Because remember, the Honorable Procedural, if you will not accept it, then he will need to substantiate by the standing orders. So no relationship.
No.
All right. So Honorable Procedural, no relationship. So you better withdraw your remarks, and I order the Hansard to start it off.
Mr. Speaker.
Yes.
Mr. Speaker, I will withdraw and apologize, but there is a clip that I'll not be able to play here, where the Honorable Member was addressing the members of the public.
Order now, overtaken by events. Honorable, proceed with
thank you, Mr. Speaker. So I was saying, in word, the word got 3 projects from the fund. Again, that is in violation of the guidelines of the fund. The Honorable Speaker, let me just highlight some words. The Honorable Simon Koske of Kunya got nothing from the project in the 2 subsequent financial years. We are going to the 3rd one. Mr. Speaker, the Honorable Philip Rono, MCA representing Kamashan, and who is our majority leader, got nothing. The Honorable Hezron Kipngeno, from the fund, the word did not get anything. The Honorable Speaker, in Bureti, Cheblanget ward, where the governor comes from, got nothing from the fund, despite the fact that we've gone through the 2 financial years. Mr. Speaker, that is why I'm saying.
Order, Honorable, when there is a point of order, take your seat from the Honorable Member of Cheblanget ward.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir, for giving me this opportunity to stand on a point of order number 98 on statement of facts. I'm lucky to have been a member to the Committee on Environment, and the flocker gave my ward a project. They supplied avocados of 2.9 million. So, just like you have said, Mr. Speaker, that you alleges must prove. Let Honorable Rogon prove or visit the flocker projects before he table a statement which is so not normal. I don't think what Honorable Rogon is saying is true. And what he said now proves that everything he's going to say is pure lies. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
All right, Honorable Rogon, you have heard the Honorable keep it possible.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the report is out, and we have the report. I'll be able to share with the member.
Is it part of the evidence that is here?
Yeah, it is part of the evidence.
Already that you have attached here?
Yes, in fact, in the report, up to 6 words, except commercial, is not captured. But Cheblanget is one of the words which did not benefit. Now that the member has confirmed the court of avocados, allow me to proceed, Mr. Speaker.
Order, Honorable Members, so that we may not waste a lot of time, I'll direct that Honorable Procedural, I would like you to stick to the very issues that are in this substantive motion. Yeah. And even as you make your contribution, make reference to it so that we don't have a back and forth.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Number B, the Joint Committee on Water and Sanitation and Environment, Energy and Forestry and Natural Resources, in the report on the implementation of implementation status of FLOCA programs, noted that some projects under the fund, namely Chemamul Water Project in Kabianga, Water and Environment Project in Serete Cheptoro Riet Ward, Toroichtany Cooperative Society Milk Cooling Plant in Kapsaos, Soliat Water Tree Nursery Establishment Project in Soliat Ward, Ndonyo Mare Bohol Water Project, and Lelaitich Water Project in Soin are marked as 100% complete, yet there are 8 defects in their works, incomplete and substandard works. Mr. Speaker, in some of these projects, the payment is already 100%, yet some of them are not complete, others have defects. Number 18, as a result of this unfair distribution of projects, wards like, and Mr. Speaker, from the report of the Committee on Water and Sanitation, Environment, Energy and Forestry and Natural Resources. Mr. Speaker, I sit in environment, and we paid a visit to a number of wards. Wards like Cheblanget, Litein, Chai, Kipchebor, Chilchila, and Kunyak did not get even a single project in all the categories under the fund, namely environment, agriculture, and water. Number 4, misappropriation of county funds under the equalizer Kazi Mtaani. And this one, Mr. Speaker, is very interesting because the Honorable Paul B. was the chairperson of this ad hoc committee. I sat as the vice chair. Number 19, on about 14th of February 2023, Mr. Speaker, it's a typo. It's supposed to be 14th of February 2023, not 31st of August. 31st is when we did the report. The governor engaged in gross violation of Article 10, 183, 201, 207, and 208 of the Constitution, and sections 102, 109, and 110 of the Public Finance Management Act 2012 by launching a program dubbed Equalizer Kazi Mtaani Initiative and drawing county funds towards the initiative without a legislation to anchor the initiative, public participation, prior approval of the county assembly and the controller of budget, and prior approval of the budget and appropriation committee approval. Mr. Speaker, under the fund, a total of Kenya shillings 39 million were paid without proper tendering, local service orders, and for the services which were not delivered. The county assembly's report on the ad hoc committee on Kazi Mtaani project pointed out various violations of the Constitution and the law in the rolling out and implementation of the initiative. However, the governor deliberately disregarded the report and it has hitherto not been implemented. Number 22, the deliberate failure, omission, and unwillingness to implement the report of the County Assembly on Equalizer Kazi Mtaani initiative undermines devolution, the doctrine of separation of powers, and is therefore unethical to the values and principles of governance. Under Article 10 of the Constitution, the objects of the devolution under Article 174 of the Constitution. Mr. Speaker, as I said, this was yet a very good initiative, but it had no legislation. Mr. Speaker, there was no policy. And Mr. Speaker, it is unfortunate because I sat with the Honorable Paul B. and the committee. People, Mr. Speaker, were given jobs. There was not a single documentation. Mr. Speaker, in Kericho County, that is the Kericho municipality, 9 companies were given the tenders without a single documentation. In Litein municipality, it was supposed to cover the 2 municipalities. 6 companies were given the works. Mr. Speaker, for Litein one, from the report, because we have the report here, the then acting municipal manager, one Isaac Basuben, and the board attempted to do some documentations, but of course, not a single LSO was generated, but all those contractors were paid. In fact, there was a funny case, Mr. Speaker, where a contractor who was given a job to do in Brook was claiming a pending bill of close to 2.7 million shillings. When we inquired from her, because we had to call them to ascertain their works, the lady could not even tell where she was given a place to work. Mr. Speaker, the program was supposed to run for 6 months. the county government of Kericho, led by the governor, through the 2 municipalities, allowed the program to run for close to a year, drawing all the development funds meant for the 2 municipalities in the first financial year and the subsequent financial year. And Mr. Speaker, we will prove when we called on the staff led by the former CEC, who is now an employee in this assembly, one Wakili Brian Langat. They were unable even to tell us who got a document. How will you pay for will you pay a contractor without even an LSO? Mr. Speaker, to date, it has never been resolved. And this one, Your Excellency, will actually pin you down because, one, we did a report, not a single money was recovered from those fictitious payments that were made to the various contractors. Let me give you the last shocking revelation. Mr. Speaker, there was a contractor who appeared, the only contractor who appeared before this committee. He had 2 companies. One was pre-qualified and the other one was not pre-qualified. But then the fellow was paid for both. In Litain, there was a contractor with 2 companies and he was paid for works. And then lastly, the funny scenario, Mr. Speaker, a contractor was given a job in Cap's House, Capsoit, and Capsuser, gave a list of laborers who were working in Cap's House. The same list was taken to Capsoit, and the same list was taken to Capsuser. How on earth is that possible? How will you take somebody who works in Cap's House to go to Capsoit, and then finally to go to... So the list that was generated, Mr. Speaker, was only meant to account for the money is paid to that contractor. Mr. Speaker, we lost 39 million shillings, and I'm happy because the report will vindicate the committee that sat to investigate the entire ordeal. Roman number 5, misappropriation of funds under the strategic intervention projects, that is the SIPs. Number 23, in various dates during the financial year 2024-2025, the governor engaged in gross violation of Article 10, 183, 201, 207, and 208 of the Constitution, and Sections 102, 109, and 110 of the Public Finance Management Act 2012 by overseeing misappropriation of various projects under the Strategic Intervention Projects Fund. Number 24, for instance, the project of upgrading of Kunyak Dispensary to Health Center, which is retender project for the construction and renovation of various facilities within the health center by MS Belitra Enterprises Limited for Kenya shillings 44,756,846. A total of Kenya shillings 8,575,186 has been paid for no works done. Indeed, the County Assembly's Committee on Implementation visited the site. They found that the contractor had only supplied material, contrary to the Finance Department's report to the Assembly that the kitchen and staff house was at the walling stage, while the MCH is at the slab level. And this, Mr. Speaker, the chairman can swear an affidavit because this is a committee that went to the site. And the contractor that evening was rushing to the site because he had already been discovered to have been paid without beginning the works. Number 6, Roman number 6, other violations of the Constitution and the law. The present and former Chief Executive Committee members and the Chief Officers have variously reported coercion by the Governor to make financial allocations for Governor's own use from the funds allocated to their respective departments, and which funds they were required to remit through the Governor's personal assistance. Mr. Speaker, the CECs who are fired, and Mr. Speaker, the Governor holds a record in this county, having fired 10 county executive members since he was elected, and 5 chief officers since he was sworn into office in 2022. Mr. Speaker, some of which were even done without the due process. Mr. Speaker, one of the county executive members, Honorable Erick Mutai, and we have the affidavit, we have, even including the M-Pesa statements, you will be able to see that in so many occasions, he was able to send money to the governor himself and to his aides, Rennie, and the other gentleman. Mr. Speaker, this confirms that the governor has, in so many occasions, forced his own employees to remit some of those monies through the PAs and some of his staff. Number 26, violation of Article 201 A, D, and E of the Constitution of Kenya 2010 on principles of public finance management, and Article 226 as read with Article 227 of the Constitution by presiding over glaring irregularities evidenced by number A, irregular award of contracts and evasion of accountability; B, willful interfering in the procurement process and the award of tenders; number C, skewed tender awards to various contractors at inflated rate and in collusion with fraudulent contractors and suppliers; number D, irregular implementation and unfair distribution of various programs in the county; and number E, intentionally and negligently presiding over massive theft of county public funds as evidenced by the Auditor General's report for the preceding financial years, which have raised red flags over various projects. And Mr. Speaker, some of these we've proven earlier on in a number of those other grounds. Number 27, on 15th August 2023, the governor compensated the victims of Londiani accident from the county emergency fund to cover up for the funds raised by the public and misappropriated by a committee he had formed to steer the fund drive, and without cogent explanation of how the funds publicly raised for the victims had been expended. Mr. Speaker, the violation is using the county money to pay for the victims of Londiani accident, despite the fact that there was a fundraiser that had been conducted to support the victims and to pay for the hospital bills. Evidence of the governor's engagement, connivance, and complicity in the aforementioned acts of misappropriation, misallocation, and illegal drawings of the county revenue and county finances is to be found in, number 1, the report of the ad hoc committee on the alleged fictitious payments, which we have the report, that is KCA exhibit number 1. We have it here, Mr. Speaker. This one. Number 2, a bundle of sample of vouchers, payment requisitions, delivery notes, LSOs, etc. The payments are made. That is KCA exhibit number 2, which is also here. Then we have number 3, Roman number 3, joint committee report of the county assembly on implementation status of National Agriculture Value Chain Development Project (NAFCDP) in Kericho County. Kericho County Assembly exhibit number 3. The report is here, Mr. Speaker. Number 4, World Bank Project Implementation Manual for NAFCDP, KCA exhibit number 4, which is here too. Roman number 5, joint committee report on the implementation status of FLOCA programs, KCA exhibit number 5. It is also here, and that was done by the committee, Joint Committee on Water and Environment. Roman number 6, reports on the ad hoc committee on Kazi Mtaani project, KCA exhibit number 6. It is also here, Mr. Speaker. Roman number 7, committee on implementation report on the motion of strategic intervention projects, KCA exhibit number 7. It is also here and it is ready. Roman number 8, a bundle of vouchers for the payment of various projects under the strategic intervention projects, KCA exhibit number 8. It is also here. Number 9, Roman number 9, affidavits of Mr. Erick Mutai, KCA exhibit number 9. And number 10, video clips, KV001 and KV002. Mr. Speaker, I would wish we play that video when I handle Roman number 2, that is the misappropriating and or abetting misappropriation of funds publicly raised for the victims of Londiani accident, because that is the clip. Number 1, on various dates between 4th July 2023 and 9th July 2023, the governor grossly violated provisions of Article 10, 73 and 75 of the Constitution and sections 29 and 34 of the Leadership and Integrity Act 2012 by number A, overseeing misappropriation of funds raised for the victims of horrendous Londiani Junction accident tragedy, in which over Kenya shillings 9 million of public raised funds were lost. Number B, redating on his undertaking to implement the report of the County Assembly's ad hoc committee formed to probe the misappropriation of funds meant for the victims of the accident. There is evidence that the governor filed a suit and or supported a suit by those implicated in the report of the County Assembly's ad hoc committee. So, committee in Kericho, ELCR code petition number E006 of 2023. That is Dr. Wesley Bor and 5 others versus the governor, the county government of Kericho and others. And Kericho ELCR petition number E014 of 2023. That is Victor Toom and others versus the Kericho, the governor, Kericho County government and others. Number C, being personally and directly complicit in the flawed award of direct tenders for the service providers during the fundraiser and requiem mass of the victims of the accident. Number D, the county governor has in this regard committed numerous and various acts in the course of his duties that are contrary to and in violation of the Constitution and laws of Kenya. These include number 1, the authenticity of various payments made cannot be confirmed. The fact that the exact amount of money expended from the sum collected during the fundraiser points to impropriety and suggests a clear fraud on those whom the funds ought to have benefited. Roman number 2, a total of Kenya shillings 13,682,660 was collected at the fundraiser. A sum of Kenya shillings 423,000 was purportedly expended as pastors' facilitation, transport fund, field preparation, lunches and refreshments, printing, publishing and radio announcements. Other payments that were approved from the fund were the Kericho County Referral Hospital, Kenya shillings 2,037,524, Londiani Hospital, Kenya shillings 1,534,190, Supertrix Limited, Kenya shillings 2,945,000, Supershine Limited, Kenya shillings 411,000, Grace Hotel, Kenya shillings 100,000, County Commissioners Fuel, Kenya shillings 300,000, etc. Number 3, that when Kenyans from all walks of life voluntarily made contributions to aid the victims of the tragedy, it was never intended or anticipated that the funds would be misappropriated with the blessings of the governor, who had a higher calling to ensure the money is accounted for to the last coin, and whom the people bestowed their trust. Roman number 4, the governor issued contradictory statements insofar as the use of the fund is concerned. The contradictory statements point to his being complicit in the manner. Roman number 5, while the governor is on record indicating that the medical bills for all the victims would be waived and taken care of by the county government, it is not clear why had the money to be paid out from the fund collected to various public hospitals against the express and unequivocal representations of the governor. Mr. Speaker, we have the clips, and before even we play those clips, this was the most unfortunate incident that happened in July. Mr. Speaker, I know you come from Kipkelion East, and quite a number of times you pass by Londiani Junction. Mr. Speaker, look at those people who, conduct their businesses there. those selling maize, those selling some food produces, the border fellows around that center. Mr. Speaker, these are the people who are trying to make the least out of what they sell. Think of those selling maize choma, Mr. Speaker. The much that particular person can make out of that is 10 shillings per maize cob. Or I don't know what we call that, the Mahindi choma. But then, Mr. Speaker, when the accident came, these are the people who could not afford even the medical bills. Mr. Speaker, the fundraiser was hurriedly done, and the members of the public gave their monies in kind. First of all, Mr. Speaker, immediately the accident happened, the former deputy president landed in the site. And I think other senior officials in this government, they even gave an amount in advance. Rigathi Gachagua himself gave Kenya shillings 2 million the same day. Mr. Speaker, it is unheard of for the county government, led by the governor, Dr. Erick Mutai, to misuse those monies that were meant to benefit the victims of that accident. I want to play the videos, Mr. Speaker, beginning with when the whistleblower came on board. That is one engineer, Fred Kirui, raised the issue of misuse of those funds. Mr. Speaker, you formed another committee that was chaired by one Honorable Moses Rotich, the MCA representing, and it came as a result of a statement from the Honorable Vincent Korir. Mr. Speaker, when you formed the other committee, the governor called a press conference right in front of his office. And Mr. Speaker, the governor committed that he was going to act on the report. I want you to play that video shortly.
Circulating around the newspapers that money was lost in the process. Some other families have not received the money. I've been able to reach out to the committee which was concerned, and out of it be able to understand what exactly transpired, because just like any other person.
Mr. Speaker, that is when the governor came out, immediately formed the other committee after the statement was raised. In fact, there is a common phrase, Mr. Speaker, where the governor claimed in our local language, Mangetu Chito, meaning he was not going to spare anyone who was accused of stealing the fund. Mr. Speaker, I want you to play the next clip when now the report of the committee that was looking into the fictitious payments from the kitty. And we will have two clips. There is one clip where the governor claims he was going to foot all the bills, the medical bills, the tent, and any other cost by the county government of Kericho. And the money raised from the fundraiser was only meant to be shared among the victims of the Londiani accident. I want you to play that clip where the governor now called a press conference, calling the committee led by the Honorable Moses Rotich a funeral committee.
I must admit that having looked the committee, I have directed the committee that as of Wednesday last week, I have directed them to pay all the money. However, the committee indicates to me that the checkbook that they were supposed to use in payment of the victims were in the hands of the funeral committee. Sorry, the ad hoc committee, but again it's a funeral committee though, because it was looking into matters funeral. So the funeral committee of the assembly had the checkbook, and they were not able to disperse the money. And now that the funeral ad hoc committee has finished their work, I request them to provide the check, because it.
Mr. Speaker, if I had an opportunity to play the entire clip, because we were able to pick that one because of time, Mr. Speaker, the governor even went an extra mile and said that my hands are tied. You know, there are officers in this county government who are accused of mishandling that money. And one of the recommendations from the committee was that they be disciplined. Disciplining them means either they was going to be surcharged or made to repay the money that were paid to them. The governor came before the members of the public and said, I have no powers to discipline the chief officers and other officers who are mentioned. Mr. Speaker, I'm talking about the governor who contradicts himself in so many occasions. And number two, this is a governor who demeans a honorable committee that was looking into issues of the victims of Londiani accident. Mr. Speaker, calling the other committee that was looking into Londiani accident compensation a funeral committee is something that, Mr. Speaker, I'm worried. Because one, that act alone amounts to violation of Article 10 of the Constitution. And Mr. Speaker, that is why I still insist before this House, Your Excellency, there is no choice, but when the time comes for us to vote, you need to exit this county, Mr. Speaker. I mean, the governor has to, the governor has to go. And Mr. Speaker, let me read number E. By his acts of omission and commission, the governor has grossly violated Article 75 of the Constitution, which demands that a state officer shall, whether in public or private, behave in a manner that avoids conflicts of interest between personal interest and the public or official interest, or compromises public interest in favor of personal interest. Number F, by overseeing the misappropriation of the funds aimed at assisting victims of the accident, the governor violated Article 73(2), which demands from him selfless service based solely on public interest, demonstrated by honesty in execution of his duties, accountability to the public,